Okay, so just to quickly round up, I want to say that one of the takeaways from this conference must be that government must get that strong message that housing is to move to infrastructure, and there must be funding for housing, not necessarily mortgages, because if we're not careful, mortgage...
Any other comment? Yes, sir. Let's have our president. You know, we have many presidents here. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. I think I just want to make a little comment regarding availability of mortgages. What we might need is maybe a little bit of collaboration. So I want to advise that Mban and Redan will meet. Mban and Redan will meet. Government already has a lot of provisions for mortgages. Through the Federal Mortgage Bank, you have the National Housing Fund loan, which is available. You have rent to own. Then we have the help to own. You have the help to own through family homes. Through the family home funds, you have the help to own. We have been interacting with developers. Bring the houses you have, provided they have titles. And you also have credible off-takers. Mortgage bankers are ready to profile them and go on. Family homes has a lot of money. If we don't access this fund, they will return them to the World Bank that gave them the money. I think and you also have, government has also done us great things by giving us this ROSA through the pension fund. We have 20 trillion Naira worth of pension fund in Nigeria. 25% of it is 4 trillion. We want developers to bring houses and credible off-takers that will access this pension fund. So far, we have done less than 500 million. So I think there is need for us to sit down, know the mortgage opportunities available, and utilize them. Our own problem from the Mban end or mortgage bank end is that we also need credible developers. If you assess NHF for somebody, maybe it could take some time in Federal Mortgage Bank. Meanwhile, this person has also paid more than 50% of this money. Before the NHF money comes, because the property price has doubled, the developer will have sold it. So there is need for us to sit down and see how we can create some harmony in this market. Thank you.
Okay, we'll take that, Oga. Yes, 2 more questions, and then we'll have some response from...
Good afternoon. I want to really appreciate Professor Nubi for his presentation. And he actually mentioned it that the policymakers are not here, who's supposed to hear what we are presenting today. However, I want to look at some things. I was in a conference where a professor said, in those days, the university professors, they produced their papers for the industry. But today, they produce their papers for promotion, and it's kept in the wardrobe. Now, I want Prof to please take another step to look at all the previous housing projects that the previous government have built all over this country. To please carry out research and find out what has become of those housing projects at various levels. And also look critically at the issue of urbanization. People moving, why are people moving to all these cities? And these cities now we are talking of deficit. whereas in the state capitals, in the local government capitals, buildings are there lying fallow, nobody is using them. And so we should do a research and then tell the government, and let's guide the government on the way forward. Not that we want to build 100,000 units in all the local government of Nigeria and nobody is going to stay there. And so we, Prof, please, from slum, let's go and do research into all those things they have done before, and then let's come out with something that can guide the government on the way forward. And then at the end of it, we'll be able to see that all this issue of deficit we are talking about may not really be so much a problem. And then government also should look at their program. Instead of concentrating things at the cities, it should be distributed. And at the end of the day, we may be able to solve some of these problems. Thank you, Prof. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. I have somebody here. Can you just bring the mic to him here? Then I'll take that organ in the front. Then I'll come back to the panel.
Hello, everyone. I'm Ibrahim Usman. I want to comment on affordability of mortgages and land. Redan talk about affordability of people. Most customers cannot afford these houses that are building in the cities, especially in rural areas. You will see the home very simple, very cheap, very affordable, and in the city like Lagos or here in Abuja, someone cannot afford it. That is why some people are going into that slum area and have some houses there. So my advice is to the developers, why can't you see the alternatives in local areas so that they can be able to build houses. Those houses can be easy, very accessible to the people, because even if you have maybe you have a home through mortgage inside Abuja, maybe you cannot live here because of the environment is not suitable to you. Everything is very expensive. So I'm advising the Redan and the other developers to see the option of building markets and everything that the people will need inside the rural areas, so that we will have standard place where people can be able to live. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, sir. Can I just take this final comment?
Yeah, thank you very much. Niga Dile is my own name. I'm a real estate developer. I think Professor Nubi laid the templates of where the problem lies in his introduction. He said that I think the private sectors are here, the mortgage bankers are here, but the government that's supposed to hear what we want to say are not here. That tells you where the problem is. In my own opinion, my analysis has always been that the government, the political will is not there for us to address housing problems. Now, the mortgage bankers have always told you their own terms. Look for a land that has title, look for off-takers, and then bring it, we'll finance it. So, but if you look at the reality on ground, look for a land that has title. How do you title the land? It takes you eternity for you to title a land. Look for off-takers. How do you get off-takers? They don't have economic power for you for them to take the mortgage. So, and then the government that has the power to the political will to make all this things happen, even in this meeting, they are absent. So how do we address the issue? For me, when our government gets serious and they have the political will to address the housing problem in real terms, based on our real circumstances, then we'll be making headway. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I'm going to come back to the panel now, And I'm going to begin with Ken, because he has some intervention. Some of the issues which have been raised, comment your responses to them.
Okay, thank you. My response will go to, I think you are a mortgage banker, sir, right? Okay. I think we need to really harmonize our actions in the mortgage sector with the reality of what is happening across the nation. Because if you look at the provisions with the family home funds and the federal mortgage bank provision, which is the NHF, you would in Abuja city center that a 50 million amount can afford. I mean, if you take some locations that you even record as a middle market in Abuja, you will discover that you hardly will find a 2-bedroom or a 3-bedroom apartment to purchase at 50 million naira. If you come to Lagos, the same thing. Just like Prof have said, I think that the Federal Mortgage Bank and the the Family Home Fund need to go back to the drawing board and restructure the real mortgage market, to accommodate the real people that are in need of these houses, so that you are able to accommodate the people that are, that the developers are developing for. We know that in the last 2 years, what inflation have done in the industry, to buy a piece of land within some neighborhoods today, the prices are very much high. By the time you put a piece of units on that land, you will see what the numbers will translate to. So the question is, with the provision in the Family Home Fund scheme and the National Housing Fund, scheme, will it be able to accommodate these houses? And the answer is no. So we need to align all this to ensure that we accommodate the real market, so that this very housing need can be addressed in the sector. That's number one. Number two is that I talked about tenure in terms of mortgage provision. I think that the Federal Mortgage Bank and Family Home Funds also should look into that. The rates are fine. The Federal Mortgage Bank rate for mortgage is about in Nigeria today. It's quite cheap. But the tenure, should be extended. We should have 40 years mortgage. We should have 50 years mortgage, so that people can come in at a very low entrant level and they're able to use that are quite suitable, and that have the capacity to appreciate over a. Lastly, you're talking about quality, quality developers. I think that actually build houses that, that can stand the test of time. Nigeria, I keep repeating that Nigeria, houses are the cheapest across the globe. 50,000, 100,000. It's over $100,000. But you translate that to Nigeria currency and then look at the middle market, you will discover that our houses are quite cheaper than what is being done outside there. So we should, upscale the provision.